What's up, Otaku fam? We are back with reactions here for the channel with some more spilled ink. We have learning how to use Manga Screentones.
Ooh, it's time.
The time is now. It's time to go to time. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Every little bit helps. And check out our Patreon. Link down below for full and cut reaction to TV shows, animes, and movies. New poll is up for the Patreon for the Senpai and Otaku tiers to pick the next reaction series because Dead Demon's Destruction is ending. That was a series.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Spilled Ink with your host, Daidus.
I've been there,
sound
Daidus,
so defeated?
because that's the same way I feel every time I mess up our intro. It's like, oh god.
I'm not gonna lie, I love when that happens because it rarely happens.
I know.
So it makes me feel better.
Yeah, I wanted you guys to know every time I've ever messed up an intro, it takes every fiber of my soul not to just hit the stop recording button and restart it.
I'm so good.
And we got a guest.
I keep it genuine for y'all.
No, and we have a guest.
Hello. We have Linea, also
Linea.
known as Keiko Cup.
Yay.
And
Yay.
please tell the audience about yourself, what you do, your credentials, if you wish.
My name is Linea. I am a freelance mangaka and illustrator, and I also work in the anime industry in Japan. And yeah, I'm here to do a manga demonstration.
Woo!
Yay.
So when we had the idea of learning how to use screen tones, Daidus and I were like, who can we ask to help? Because I feel like this is like a dying art.
Yeah, it
Indeed.
kind of is.
Yeah, or at least we don't know very many people who know how to use screen tones. And so then I remembered you actually have worked on a manga, or you are working on your own manga.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
thought you would be the perfect person to help teach us how to use screen tones. So thank you so much for coming out and filming with us today.
Yay. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm ready
excited.
to learn
course.
ancient technology.
Yeah. The ancient Japanese art of toning. I don't think it's actually from Japan originally, but...
Oh, really?
Well, like, screen tone existed, like, I don't know the exact history, but it existed before, like, kind of digital implements existed to, like, be able to print monochrome things with, like, gray tones. So that's why they're all just tiny dots. But, yeah, I don't know that much about the history, so...
You don't need to.
Yeah, we're just learning how to use them.
But yeah, I keep looking at this. Is this a rice spoon?
Yes, it is a rice spoon. Okay, so there's this thing that you use for pasting screen tones called Tone Hera, which I forgot to bring with me. They have a little demonstration on the back here, the instructions.
Oh.
What?
So you cut out the tone, you like take it out of the sheet, and then you're supposed to paste it down with the Tone Hera like that.
Oh.
But I don't have one, and I couldn't find one at the craft store, so I just brought a rice like spoon.
You know what? If
and
it works, it works.
I think it's good enough, like efficient enough to use. So
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that jerry rigging of like a household item.
And I know you have experience with both digital and traditional.
yeah.
And like every time I see your progress videos of drawing, I'm always so floored.
New
at how
Vampire
gorgeous they
Yuri
look.
manga.
I will show some
Oh,
examples
Lord.
on the screen, but
I've read it.
huh?
What?
I read your manga.
You read my manga?
The killer one, right?
Yeah,
the idol, right?
Idol Royale.
Yeah.
Oh really?
I did.
Thank you.
I read it.
Yay! I'm glad.
I like a good classic like battle royale.
Thank you. No, I'm glad you read it. I like never expect people I know or meet to read it. So, cause I have a lot of people I know that are just like, oh yeah, I should read your manga sometime. I'm like, if you want to, like.
Awesome, yeah.
So this is an example of a screen tone sheet. They come in like these big sheets like this.
Yes.
How do they work exactly?
Just like a big sheet that's kind of like a sticker. It has glue on the other side. So what you do is use an X-Acto knife to cut out the area that you need for the tone, and you take it out and just paste it onto whatever you're working on, and then you just kind of like the instruction on the back it shows too. Put it around the area you need it, and then paste it down. And usually you can like refine it by just like cutting out the bits you don't need and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
I'm always amazed to see like
Wow.
how many different screen tones a mangaka will utilize for like one panel, especially
Yeah.
in shoujo manga. I feel like I see less of it in shonen. Correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's true actually. A lot of it is like very line heavy, I feel like, with shonen mangaka. Like I wrote some more sheets with me here as well, but like for example, in shoujo manga you might use like this kind
Oh
of
yeah,
lacy
the sparkly,
like,
texture. Yeah, exactly.
So would you say using screen tone increases workload by a lot?
Yes.
Maybe that's why Shona don't touch it.
Immediate, yes.
It does.
What is cool is that when I was growing up with going to the art school, I mean, not art school, sorry, art stores.
Go to art school.
And no, going to art, I can't talk. Art, art stores, right?
Yeah.
And I was always jealous of like when you could just buy screen tones anywhere in the art stores in Japan.
Yeah, true.
Or these things are manga paper. That's crazy.
yeah, true.
It's crazy. Like what? We would kill like when we were like 12-year-olds. We would kill for these supplies.
Yeah,
I know,
Yeah.
that's
we use
true.
this for the first time.
And when you try to
Manga
Google
paper.
screen tones, you don't get really good screen tones. I feel like.
Yeah, true. Like authentic ones.
Yeah.
Dice and I have prepared in preparation for this exercise.
I didn't prepare enough.
No, that's good.
That looks good.
I didn't finish it.
We've prepared our own little single manga page. These are not existing characters. It just came up with like a little scenario. And this one's more, I guess, like shoujo-esque. And then Dice went for a more shonen
I was
look.
going for like a fantasy, and it's just this rich guy, and it's supposed to say, "I'll kill you," and that's it.
Nice.
But
Nice,
yeah, we
nice.
figured it'd be fun to sort of try and utilize the same screen tones in these two they give very different moods.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to use the exact same screen tones, but
I don't even know like how to utilize the stuff.
He's like, I don't even know how to
if you
do
give it a shot,
things.
but you've also prepared your own art as well.
Oh yeah, sure.
If you would like to show the viewers.
I carry around all my manga pages in this busted like just pile of papers because I don't have a proper folder yet. But I've been working on a new one-shot manga.
Well, one shot.
Like in addition to the one the ongoing one you're working on right now.
I'm currently like just taking a break from that. I'm just doing this, but yeah, like here's some of the
Oh my
pages.
God!
Wow. It feels like spoilers.
It's fine. It's
Let us show
fine.
this.
Yeah, it's fine. I post everything online too, so it's no problem.
Like this is amazing.
Thank you.
So how long would you say each page takes you?
It depends on the page, honestly. Like this kind of stuff with the backgrounds takes a bit longer, so I would say on average maybe 5 to 7 hours per page. I think
Oh
this
my
took a little
God.
bit less because it's just like 2 characters. So it's a bit easier. Like the sketch takes 1 hour, and then the inking maybe took 3 hours for this.
If you don't mind me asking, like, what do you use exactly to ink?
Oh god, I brought
the
all my supplies. I brought everything with me. Yeah, I use a G pen and Maru pen, which you both probably. Did you use a nib pen for your manga pages?
Yeah, so you like dip it in ink and you.
Yes.
We were nibbing because we're comfortable with it, and we're scared.
Yeah, understandable. I was just curious because, like, I wasn't sure what tools you guys were using, but yeah, I use just a dip ink like this, and I really recommend it compared to like multi-liners. I have multi-liners like this as well, like the Copic ones. They
Yeah,
just
those are the
kinda-
ones we used.
Yeah, they're just like I don't know if you can even see it, but yeah, they're just like the normal kind of art pens. But the good thing about the nib pens is that you can get very big, like varied line weight because it like kind of splits apart like that. If you see what I mean.
Oh.
So it creates a lot more dynamic lines.
I'm not gonna lie, like when an artist shows their tools, I just want to copy their whole. I don't even think about myself. I'm just like, oh, she uses
Can
all.
we talk about how good these manga panels look, though?
Yeah.
I guess this is for the Yuri vampire one shot that she was
good.
saw. They clipped for the video that they her working on. It looks good.
I just want that. I just want.
Yeah,
This makes my brain happy. It feels good.
it's the opposite of Vampire Dormitory.
Yeah.
This stuff, I want to use all that
But
stuff.
it's all in the
Yep.
skill, of course.
But
tools do not
it's a
make
good
the
starting
art.
point, though, to
Yeah.
steal tools from other artists, right?
Have you ever used a nib pen before?
Not this.
I'm scared.
Do you want to like try a little bit on the edge of your paper?
You know, I could
Oh,
try it
wait,
on.
really?
Yeah, why not?
I could try it on this because I really want to throw this in the trash. So I think
No!
I don't mind experimenting on this one.
Okay, there's-
So what are the I have so many questions actually. Like,
If you do it on the edges, it's outside the bleed area.
Right. So I was
That's
gonna
fine.
ask you like which each line. There's like this line, this line, this line. I know they explain it sort of, but like it's very confusing.
They're just basically bleed lines essentially. So outside they have a ruler here, which you can use like to help with paneling and stuff. So you make sure you have straight lines and backgrounds and stuff too. This is the inner bleed. So this is the stuff inside that you want to keep the most important things, like the main text, characters, panels, etc. So usually when I'm doing my manga, I keep the panels a little bit within the inner bleed, because then it's like in the safe area when it gets printed, basically.
Yeah.
Safe area. Okay.
And then the area outside that is the bleed area. So this you don't want to put any text or important stuff, but if you want to have panels that are like kind of going outside to the edge of the page, essentially, you would draw all the way to the edge of the bleeds. And then the very most inner border is the cutoff area. So this is the area that is like most likely not going to get printed, but you should still draw to it anyway if you're doing this, just in case.
Oh, so is that why you drew the rest of hers?
Yeah, pretty much. It would probably be cut off around here.
No!
But yeah, that's fine.
So what made you want to do your one-shot traditionally as opposed to digitally?
Honestly, the main reason is just like I have to draw digitally all day for work. So like on my iPad, I'm drawing for like my anime work. So I just like am tired of staring at screens. I'm just like
It is a different vibe.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like I just want to work on paper again. And then I tried this test, and I'm like, wait, this is faster than doing it digitally. Somehow.
I know, she told me this earlier and I was floored. I'm like, no way.
I kind of realized like sometimes doing line art like this is faster for me traditionally because like you are basically, you don't have an undo button, right? So when you're drawing digitally, you can just undo the line over and over again until you have like, a perfect line.
Yeah.
So it actually like sucks up so much more time, and I realized doing this, it's actually a lot faster because I can't be perfectionistic with the lines. It just has to be like one and done, basically.
I'm like the opposite because like I'm like I wish I could lasso this tool and make the head a little bit smaller.
I know what you mean.
All the eyeballs a little wonky.
Yeah, that's like the kind of stuff you just have to fix in your sketch. Otherwise, like,
Oh man,
you can't really do that traditionally unless you like just paste a new piece of paper and like redraw a part or something, which is possible as well.
Damn,
Yeah.
so much work.
But like drawing's background traditional must suck a lot of doo-doo and poo-poo. Doo-doo and poo-poo. Yeah.
It's like, it's a lot of work.
Do you ever think of like doing like half traditional and then half digital? Like you scan it and then you're like, oh, I'll do the background
Oh, I
digitally.
know Oda does that, right? Where he sketches it and then he just does the...
I think so.
Or like Kyuhiko Azuma, we went to one of his exhibitions, and it showed that he would draw like an illustration, like he would do it traditionally, but then he would color it digitally.
Oh,
That was really interesting, like a good merge of both.
Yeah, that's pretty common too. Yeah, I'm not doing my tones for this manga traditionally because tone sheets are really expensive. And also it's just easier to do tones digitally. Like it's less time consuming. So I'm just doing whatever saves me time.
Tones is
Yeah.
more expensive? Like how much? Or like per page would you say?
One sheet of the tones, like I showed you, it was like 500 yen per page.
Ooh.
So if you're doing like a full one shot, that's gonna add up a lot. You're probably gonna have to spend at least like ichima yen or like $100.
Dude,
to,
how
like,
do you want
complete
that?
like one
Paying for its
chapter or
own.
something.
How
Yeah,
did
I don't know.
Jack not go broke with... I'm sure they did.
I don't know. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. Maybe it's not that much, but it's still like, it's still
It
pretty
adds up.
expensive.
It adds up for sure.
Am I allowed to ask what this character's name is?
Mashiro, I think is her working name.
Mashido?
I haven't thought of a title for this one shot yet. People on like Instagram and stuff are like, "What's the name of the manga?" I'm like, I don't know.
No, title is very hard.
It's called WIP.
I just call it the Vampire Yuri manga. That's it.
I have to ask.
Yes.
Can you please tell the viewers what this is? This looks so beautiful.
Yo, I'm about to
yeah.
say something cringe first.
What?
Bakuman, you know the crow
Bakuman.
guy.
So what is this used
Bakuman's
for?
good. This is just like to get rid of eraser shavings.
Oh
Okay.
wait, that's smart. You could just wipe it
Yeah,
away.
just go like that and you're
Bakuman,
good.
you don't
Wait, I
even
need
remember
that.
what it-
No, he uses a pen. It's like a pen.
Oh.
I do have a question,
Interesting.
actually, which regards to what you're about to do. Is how do you decide what to use tones with? It's just like, oh, I want this in shadow.
Ooh, like
is
what
this a
parts to
certain
tone?
color?
Usually when I'm doing like a longer manga, I'll have like a list of like the tones I use for certain characters. Like this character uses this tone, like their hair uses this tone, or this character's alpha uses this tone. That'll be like digitally, of course, but yeah, it's usually good to like decide that. And I guess like traditional would be the same. Yeah, I guess a little explanation about that too. Each tone has a value, so you see how it says here like 57.5L 20%.
Oh wow.
This is the darkness of the tone, so the higher this percentage goes, the closer the dots are, so it'll be darker.
Oh, it's like opacity layer.
Yeah, exactly. This works the same digitally as
Wow.
well. Like it has the same percentages. And the 57.5L is how large or small the dots are, or like how far apart. I don't know how to
I
explain
see.
it
I
exactly.
get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like you can make the circles really big, like comic book.
Yeah. You can make them really big if you, I think, lower this a lot. The special tones have it too, but it just says 60L because it's just the size of the dots, not like the opacity level.
Well, I have another question.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, with all the questions.
No, it's
I'm
fine,
just-
it's fine.
But, like, if you run out of the sheet, like, how hard is it to buy another sheet that's exactly like this, right?
In Japan, it's super easy because you can just go to the craft store and like every
SE58?
craft store. Yeah, you just find the number code basically and just go buy it. If you're in the U.S., it's a little bit harder. I used to get this stuff at like Kinokuniya or.
Oh, if
There's
they
some
have
other
that.
stores. Yeah, exactly. Like, I used to live in New York, so there was a Kinokuniya in New York City. I would go buy this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a little bit harder to get if you're like overseas. I'm gonna start over here actually because I
Like
already cut a
everything.
bunch. I'm gonna cut since it's a little bit more like tricky area. I'm gonna cut an area that's larger than what I need, so that way I can get the more detailed parts easier.
So you sort of carve out like the general shape first?
Yeah, I think it's easier to do that instead. I can't see where I cut over there, but it's around here.
How do you make sure the page stays still?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just holding it down. Because I
Do some
can.
people use tape, or you just YOLO? I guess you're YOLOing, huh?
Yeah, I am. I don't think like this is how you're supposed to do it. If you're like being smart about it, but yeah, there we go. Peel. All right, so this is where I would use the rice ladle. You stick it down like
There
this.
it is.
And then I would start doing like a little bit more fine cuts. So I'm gonna cut out the strands of hair first here. Then I would use the knife to kind of pick up the part I don't need that I cut out.
Oh my.
And carefully peel it back like that. And I don't know what to do with the
Wow.
scraps right now, so I'm just pasting them on the top.
What in the witchcraft did I just watch, bro? What in the witchcraft?
This is too brilliant. So I'm going to share a lot of things that I
Yes.
was not aware of.
Yes. Let us
Right.
have a little talking time.
Yeah.
Ren's artist talking time.
Right. and now granted, I was thinking this before, like when we were watching a lot of their, like even when they were talking about their manga, making their own manga, and then the cafes they visited with the mangas. First of all, even though we've passed this, it's still wild because I used to not know that back in the day manga was drawn traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought everything was done digitally.
Right.
Like granted, I think I knew that it started out traditionally, but I thought it ended up digitally because I was like, I don't understand how they get.
Yeah, how do you do?
How do you do that?
Right.
How does that? How do you do?
Right.
So I think I always assumed books were done digitally, which I mean, kind of, if you think about it, makes sense that it's done traditionally because I think about when I was reading them when I was 11, we'll say, maybe even younger. We didn't have cool digital shit like that. Like, I mean, we used to have Bamboo, which was that little tablet that you could hook up to, like, a computer. But, again, coming from the 90s, back in the day,
Yeah.
that shit wasn't as good as we have now. Now, second, I didn't know screens were on, like, a little sticky thing. So this is already just fascinating. I, again, thought this was done digitally. It makes sense that some of it is. But I didn't know they had sold that shit.
Yeah.
And then third, how is she doing this and not cutting the paper all to hell and back?
That's what I was wondering.
That's what I'm looking. How are you doing
Like
that?
how percent? Like I hope I don't hope, but I do hope one of them pushes down too hard. It's like, oh yeah, don't cut through the manga paper. It's like, well, how was I supposed to know?
because I'm like, I think about all the times I've used an X-Acto blade, and granted, I am not good with using an X-Acto blade or sharp objects for that matter.
You're not. That's why I have to hide them.
Listen, anyway, I'm just like, how do you not just go shink and you just see like a little...
Yeah. It's wild. It's definitely wild seeing all this and then knowing how it is in today's age. Like, I'm thinking, we just reacted to Oshinoko, which season 2 had a whole big thing about mangakas and that becoming a play and everything. And we saw what their office space looks like. It's just 4 people in a small room with tablets, and they are just cranking out sheets. And they're just doing panel after panel, all digital. Chick who was a weekly drop was just, yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta do 3 more pages to finish this chapter in like 48 hours or whatever. And all the fucking detail. I'm just like, bro. See, shit like that can't be traditional. It's just there's so many factors. This is wild.
My brain is just. There's a lot of things happening that I'm just not ready for.
So that is correct.
Page. But yeah, there's one section.
Should we give you like a piece of scrap like paper?
Oh, either way, I can also just put on the top of the page. So.
Oh, okay. Here, I don't want you to ruin
either
your
way.
nice page.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Like the bleed areas, you can just put whatever, because it gets cut off.
But what
when
if you want to
scan
display
it.
the nice page, one day?
Yeah, maybe. But it might be interesting for people to see like the little
Yeah,
scraps of
right.
tone, Yeah. That was from when I was toning earlier. There's just a bunch of little scraps there.
I actually never seen a manga being worked on in real life.
Damn, so screen tones are like thick enough where you don't have to worry too much about it cutting through, huh?
Yeah, you see, I'm not really cutting the page, even though I'm like.
Okay, well, there's
using
your
the knife
explanation
on
for
the
that.
page.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's
As
thick
long
enough,
as you
I guess.
are like not pressing too hard, it's usually fine.
I've seen
there you go,
I've seen
baby.
some panels where like they had the screen tone and then you could tell they like scratched away some of it to get like an effect.
Yeah, that's one of the techniques you can use. Actually, I'm gonna demonstrate one of the screen tone techniques on the bottom part of the shadow. So I have a sand eraser.
What's a sand
What?
eraser?
So this is used for tone to make the tone have a gradation.
Whoa.
So
what?
Oh, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
see what you mean.
Yeah, you can see on the cheeks I did that, where it's like a little bit faded on the edges.
Oh, so you can make your own
I'm gonna do
gradient.
that here too. Yeah, exactly.
What is this called? A sand eraser?
I think, yeah, it's called a sand eraser. Yeah, so this is a mono brand eraser
That is
I'm using.
awesome.
I've never seen this in my
What?
life.
I've never heard of that. This is blowing my mind.
Preparation
Ours
for the
too.
OtakuCouple Manga contest that is ending on February 28th. I think we're not gonna do screen tones for
Definitely not.
our manga because we're already gonna ink it traditionally. I just don't think we'll have time
I
to
know,
tone
I know.
all like 12 pages of it. But I think on my bucket list, I would love to draw like a one shot that's fully toned, just to have it.
Yes, you should do it.
Just to be like, I completed this.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You can see I made a little mistake there. I'll like show how I would fix
Girl,
that
I could
after
barely
too.
tell. That looks fantastic.
There's like a little point where the tone's missing there, but yeah, I'll fix it after.
So I have another question actually.
Yes.
So technically, you could just get like a gray marker and do the shadows. Is there like a reason to go for screen tones over?
I think that's what
besides
I
the
thought they
dots, right?
were.
Is it just like how nice it looks and clean?
The reason is because screen tones are monochrome and not grayscale. So when you're printing manga, it's usually going to be, I mean, you could print in color too, but monochrome is usually cheaper to print in general. And a lot of manga is like published on kind of like newsprint, like monthly magazines. So to save print costs, it's a lot cheaper to print on monochrome than grayscale or color because it like saves
I
ink
see.
and
Yeah.
things like
I
that.
get
So
it.
Like if you use marker, you can't get that like consistency. I guess.
yeah, exactly. Like it's less consistent, and also you can't print it monochrome. You'd have to print it grayscale. There's like a piece of the tone still stuck in the eye. It kind of looks nice actually. I might keep it.
Yeah.
Happy accident.
Yeah, I might actually put another piece on the other eye. Yeah, because I like when people add toning in the eyes. I think it looks really nice. I think it's something they used to not do as much because like it would just be shaded using cross-hatching or like inking techniques, but I noticed recently it's more popular to put tone colors in the eye like that.
Oh, it looks so nice.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much it adds. Just one little thing of like screen tone color.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember Yona the Dawn, the author wrote in her like at the end of a chapter or something, it was like, my biggest regret was having her have red hair because I have the screen tone.
Oh, that's so true. I feel that. That's the same with my manga. Oh my god. I feel that so
Like
much.
sometimes, I don't know if you've had this experience, you'll read a manga and like they don't have screen toned hair, so you in your head you think like, oh, they must be like blonde or something, and then you look at
true.
like the colored illustrations and you're like, they have brown hair.
I want
It
to say
happens
this
so
now.
much.
Horimiya,
What do you mean?
it bothers me so much because when I was reading the manga, I always thought she was like blonde, but she's like
they didn't
brunette.
screen tone her hair?
No, it just looks blonde to me. I can't
Understandable.
unsee it. I was just like, it looks blonde. I know.
Okay, that should be fine. And I'm gonna use the eraser to kind of show.
Oh, yes, the sand eraser.
Yes.
Yeah, sand eraser.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna erase the bottom of the bangs here to kind of show how it would look like. Now you can see that there's a little bit of a
Wow.
Oh, it's
like
like
gradient
at the
soften the
bottom.
edges.
yeah, it softened the edges of it basically. Now if I wanted to fix like the little mistake I made too, I would usually just use like a multi-liner and kind of like fill in that area slightly like that.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Make
then
the line art around it thicker. Oh.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow, this was fantastic.
Wow.
You did so fast too.
I
Yay,
know.
Thanks. So that's my demonstration, I guess.
All right. Oh, now I'm scared. So I was thinking, and like,
So, babe, how's you feeling? How's the mind doing over there?
I couldn't do that.
No.
I don't think I could do that. Like, that's wild to me.
It was wild.
I didn't know
if you
that thing
have other
existed.
suggestions.
Right.
I was just gonna focus on like this panel for my first screen toning attempt, and I was thinking of using this really pretty, like romantic looking one with the doilies.
Yes, that would be
for the
perfect.
background. What do you think?
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly what this kind of tone's for, like background kind of effects and stuff.
All right, and then what part would you want to tone,
Oh
Daidus?
man, I guess I'll give him blue hair.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll go simple. We'll just do one thing and then.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna like. I just want to try it.
So I think for that you can probably use the gradient one.
Ooh.
For the hair.
So do you
That I
have
haven't opened
like
yet.
you have like a favorite kind of like you like the small dots and like the gray that anything that looks gray and like 20% opacity, or do you like what do you spam the most?
What do you spam? What screen,
Yeah.
what screen tone do you main?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's mainly yeah, like the one I showed, it's like 15 to 20% opacity is like the main one for gray areas. And that's actually the standard in the industry, I would say, as well,
it's standard,
in general.
okay.
Yeah, because like if you go too dark, usually the rule is like you shouldn't shade with something over 50% opacity because then you can't really see the line art as well anymore.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it like starts to obscure like the rest of your art. So it's usually good to be like at 50% or below, but lower. But sometimes like there will be times you use other ones, so it depends.
So how do I decide like what part of the screen tone to use?
Right. I'm also confused.
Yeah, you can do whichever like looks better to you, honestly. Like just laying over it, it's like, okay, do I prefer that he has lighter hair, or like do I want to go for darker hair?
Oh.
Like which one looks better to
I'll
you?
go for blue, which is in the middle, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we only have
degree.
one tool because we're dumb and
I thought
we had X-Acto knives, but
I'm
we
sorry.
don't because we're not mangaka. But Emily will go first
Really?
Sure.
Okay.
with your little doilies.
Okay, so I just basically I cut out like a square, right?
So you want it to be like the full background like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can cut out like a little bit larger than the panel and then you can take it out of the sheet.
Oh.
Oh, if you're not comfortable, you can also, I have masking tape that you can tape this down so that way it
Oh.
doesn't move when you're cutting.
Oh, you know what? I might need that.
I was
For-
doing it freehand because I'm crazy, but
I feel like I've been through
I'm
this
just
rodeo
good, you
before.
know. I can do it freehand,
You
but
know what, for
whatever.
Baby's first screen tone. I'm gonna need this.
no, this is what you should be doing. I'm living life on the edge. It's fine.
I too am lazy to tape it down. I'm just going YOLO. I'm too
Yeah, you
lazy.
just go
for that.
right into it, yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't tell how. Alright.
Yeah, you can't really see the lines that you're cutting.
Really? You can't? Oh no.
If they're connected.
Honestly, just try to lift it and see it. And it should rip if it's like close enough. Yeah, there you go.
And then I just yoink it?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, is it easy to yoink?
yeah. Oh. Whoa, it's so thin.
Yeah, it's super thin. That's why it's easy to cut too.
And then I
And now
just-
it's time for the rice cup.
Oh, so it just sticks, huh?
I think you should use the other side.
Oh, wait, this side?
Yeah, and you should
One
paste
direction,
it away.
one direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, done.
I'm stressed.
I don't want to do any more than that. All right, and then I just basically cut out like I'll do the edges first, I
Yes.
guess, and then I'll cut out the rest of her.
Yep, pretty much.
You know what? Honestly, it's not that bad. Doing it,
Yeah, not bad.
like in theory, it's so much scarier.
No wonder, like, sometimes when I read manga, they'll have a panel that's like, they cut too much of the screen tone on purpose to like highlight. It's hard to explain. It's like not exact. Sometimes I'm bothered because I'm like, the screen tone is not exactly where the lines are or something. They get like a little.
Look at that, bam,
Nice.
clean, baby.
All right.
Wait, I gotta do the Linea classic.
Is that my signature move now?
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Shoo! Bam! Didn't have to eyeball it at all. Let's go! You know what? This is fun. See? Well, no, I'm sure if you have to do this for like 1,000 other panels, it no longer becomes a fun time.
But your partner looks so good after.
And I weep for my 11-year-old self. Feel like middle school Emily would have had a field day with this stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I had that stuff, I wouldn't even know how to use it.
That is true.
Like, how did you learn how to do all your stuff?
That's a good question.
Honestly, the way I learned there was not a lot of information back then in English about like making Japanese anime or manga.
Yeah, that's
or,
all
like,
I'm saying. I tried.
So the way I learned was I just bought like a really bad like how to draw manga book, but it actually was good because it had like all the tools you need to buy.
Oh,
and,
really?
like,
It told you buy this.
Yeah, and I was like, this is what I need to become a
Yes.
mangaka. And I'm actually like kind of thankful to it now because I'm like, that was like one of the only books that I knew that was available in English that actually had like any information about drawing manga traditionally. So yeah.
There we go. Look at that! The shape of the speech bubble.
You did so good. Whoa.
I thought this would be more difficult because the X-Acto knives, when I think of an X-Acto knife, I think it only cuts straight. So I was like, how am I going to do the curved edges? But it's not that bad.
You're doing it really cleanly. It looks good.
So I'm assuming most mangaka, do they draw their own bubbles, text bubbles and stuff like that?
It depends on the person. Some people use like text bubble tools on the computer, and a lot of people draw by hand. But yeah, like usually.
So you usually draw your bubbles by hand?
Yeah, usually you're supposed to like use a round tool or something, but I just wing these.
I feel like if you wing it, it looks more like, I don't know, it's kind of
characteristic or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like it too. So I've been doing it by hand more because I like that as
like,
well.
I do like the shape of this bubble.
Yeah,
That
it's got a little
particular,
like
yeah.
thing on the end.
I see like sound effects too is like a whole another ballpark.
Oh yeah.
So I see you have some here.
Yeah, this is a biku, which means like Twitch.
Do you normally use sound effects in all your panels, or?
Yeah, not in all the panels, but just like wherever I feel like it needs it. I wanted to add it on this page because I wanted to make it more obvious that her hand is burning. Because she's a vampire, she's holding a cross. So she's just like, but she doesn't know she's a vampire, so she's just like, ow, this hurts to hold.
Smoke here.
Yeah, exactly. And like her fingers are charred. So the sound effect is like for, I don't know, prickling or burning sensation. I'm not 100% sure because like I'm not native in Japanese, but when I there's like a sound effects dictionary you can look up that shows like what sound effects they use in manga. There's also like kyun.
Kyun.
Yeah, which is like kind of heart-throbbing sensation.
So like the word bubble, these sound effects do become like an art form in itself.
They do, yeah.
Like for this panel.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I noticed like in One Piece, it's boom, like they have like
True,
big
yeah,
giant like takes up JoJo too, like
Yeah.
takes up the whole page,
especially
right?
JoJo.
Yeah, it's like
Good
part
Lord.
of the art form, especially like
Man, that's hard.
especially for shonen manga, I think too. How's it going? Oh, it looks good.
It's going well.
Yay!
beautiful.
It looks amazing.
I think the hardest part of toning is just trying to remember what you already cut. Because sometimes I'll be like, can I pull it now? Like, I don't remember if I, like, finished
That's a good
cutting
point,
the
Emily.
outline. Yay! I think I'm done.
Yep.
That went faster than I thought. And this is a finished product. Very subtle, but I like how it turned out. All right, your turn. I'm passing the torch
No,
over.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Take it back.
So I'll YOLO it without the tape because I'm lazy.
What? No tape?
It's because my personality is, I'm just. I
You're
just
like, I can't keep taping it for everything.
If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna learn how to do it YOLO.
Man, I love feeling the screen tone. I love touching it.
This is
Yeah.
hard.
Feels nice.
I don't remember what I'm like sliding over here. I made a big piece because I forgot where I cut.
Yeah, you can like feel it and see like
Oh.
where the The part.
I love how he's like, I'm gonna yell at no tape, and then immediately I'm sliding
I
over
know,
here.
I
You
love
know
that.
shit, that's why the tape is there
Yeah.
for, bro.
That'd be
Because-
you.
Oh my god, I'm garbage at this.
It would.
No.
I can
It
admit
reminds me
that.
of, like arts and craft. I'm like really bad.
I
at
am
arts
just
and
a simple
You
man.
might put around already. You can try lifting it to see if there's any part you missed.
craft. I'm trying.
You have to use the knife to lift it. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, you can't just do it with your finger. It's too thin.
Oh, I should have used the tape, guys. Help!
Help!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I want to quit.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because you keep lifting it, but then placing it back down with your hand. So, like,
No, don't mind. Don't mind.
Don't mind.
Okay.
yep. And then there you go.
What if it's not big enough?
Yay!
It's big
Wait,
enough.
it just sticks on? I don't have to do anything?
Yeah, it has like glue on the other side, like adhesive.
But I don't even feel the glue.
Yeah, it was just like super thin. So
Yeah, I always wondered, like, oh, what happens if a mangaka's adding screen tones and they mess up? I didn't realize how easy it was to just lift it with the X-Acto
Yeah,
knife.
they really
Yeah.
Even after you
optimized
stick
this.
it on, it's nice.
yeah, it makes it really easy.
This is a lot easier than I thought for some reason. I thought it was going to be super duper hard.
Linea, question.
Yeah.
What was, and it can be multiple answers,
Yeah.
what was the manga that really, like, inspired you to want to be a mangaka?
That's hard to say. I think I grew up reading a lot of shoujo manga, like Tokyo Mew Mew or
Oh my god, a
like
classic.
Shugachara or I don't know. There's a lot of manga like that I grew up with, so I started drawing after that basically. I'd say that's my main inspiration, but I don't really read shoujo that much anymore. I pretty much only read Yuri, so
Oh,
my taste has
Whoa.
pivoted. But it's like if you look at Yuri manga, it looks very similar to shoujo, like the style, so it's like yeah.
I think for me, if I had to think about, like, what was the childhood manga, do you remember Kitchen Princess?
Yes.
Ah, I loved
Yeah,
Kitchen
it's a good manga.
Princess so much.
Yeah, I really miss that like old shoujo manga style. I used to want to draw like that, but it's not really popular anymore, so kind of have to.
We need to
know.
bring it back.
Gotta
Bring it
pivot.
back.
I love the
Shoujo
look
Renaissance.
of 80s and 90s anime.
Yes, it's so good.
It's so good.
I
Especially
agree.
90s.
Like,
Bring it back.
I miss that early 2000s Arena Tanemura, like, big
yeah,
eyes,
it's
like,
so good.
screen tones.
Also, story time. So, at the time of this recording, the previous weekend, we went to Pop Cult Con in North Carolina, where we got tattooed. But there was a booth doing a flash sale for chibi anime tattoos, like Nana, like the chibi, like actual like manga style panel. And I was like, oh, that'd be cute. You and your friends should get that done. And I looked at the price and I was like, never mind, because the two of just like the both Nanas together was like $200 for something like this
Yep.
big.
It
I
wasn't
was like,
even that
oh,
big. It was
hell
like
no.
that.
Yeah, I was like,
it was
nah,
like-
I'm good. You're good on that.
It's like
no.
literally the size of like one of the coin dollars. If you guys have ever seen one of the dollar coins,
Yeah.
like, that's how big it was.
Yeah.
Probably as big as Daidus' speech bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, no. It's not worth it.
All over the place.
I know.
But it was that
was
old,
probably
like,
all
it
done by hand,
looked
too.
like it
Yeah.
came
I
straight
did
out of
not
the
know
manga.
that
It
tattoo
sure
so
was,
bad.
yeah, like the tones and everything. I know there's some exhibits like that in Tokyo, but I wish more mangaka did like their original pages as exhibits, because I would love to see like an Arena Tanemura like exhibit.
I want to see
That'd be
Arena
so
Tanemura
cool.
exhibit so bad. Have you gone to the Clamp exhibit?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
No, why?
I had like no time. Yeah.
No, but they had all of like the original pages.
No!
And it looked
Yeah.
beautiful.
I really wish I could have gone.
Ooh.
It's looking good.
Oh, maybe did I not?
Yeah, it's the hardest part for me. I'm like, I don't know if the lines connect.
I mean, my line work is so messy that like it's hard to. Oh, come on.
Close.
Oh, I guess I could take piece by piece. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can just take the other piece after.
No, it looks so cool already. So, Linea, you've worked in both manga and animation, correct?
Yes.
Which would you say is harder?
Oh, good question.
Oh, that's.
Wait, you might
A
put her in
hard
hot water.
question.
No, wait, really? Is it a bad question to ask?
What if the
No, it's not a
animators would be like,
bad
oh?
Honestly, probably. It depends on the project. Probably manga is harder because you have to like think of the whole story and everything. But most of the anime work I'm doing, I'm just doing sakan, which is like keyframe supervision. So you're just drawing pretty pictures basically. So you don't really have to think that much.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, because
okay.
you're just like someone already storyboarded the episode, so you're just like fixing up the drawings basically. So you don't really have to think too much. But with this, you have to like think really hard and be like, all right, how are the characters gonna look and the story doesn't make sense, and like there's just so many little parts.
I asked because earlier when Daidus and I were like working on the line art, we were like, God, this is so freaking hard. And Daidus was like, I think manga is harder than animation.
I mean, my mood changes. This thing here is like the first manga page I've ever attempted ever in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So then I felt
really?
it. I was like, this is hard.
It's really good for your first time ever trying. I didn't think that.
I tried my best.
It looks good, honey.
You should have seen the first manga page I ever did.
Oh my God, I think I still have my old like manga attempts.
Yeah.
Oh, like when you're a kid and you just everything's in pencil.
Yeah, I didn't know what like back then what manga paper and all this stuff was, so I just had like a sketchbook that I was drawing my manga in with like really bad paper, and yeah, it was just all in pencil.
Oh, so is manga like the reason why you are in Japan now?
Yes, it is.
That's amazing.
I mean, I wanted to move to Japan anyway because it was just like one of my dreams to
Because you're a weeb?
try living here. Yes.
Just say it out loud.
I am, honestly.
I know what you are.
No, but yeah, like I really wanted to like pursue my dream of drawing manga here, and I wasn't sure how that was gonna happen. I figured I would just do like freelance for the rest of my life or whatever, but I was like, oh, it'd be cool if I live in Japan though, you know? So I went to language school at first and then somehow got hired into an anime company, like just out of nowhere, and now I can pursue my dreams because of that. So yeah, it's fun.
So you want to be manga full time, yeah?
Now I'm not sure. I kind of like
yeah?
anime stuff too now.
Oh.
Like I recently directed a short project for the company I work at, and I was just kind of like, oh, this is fun. I want to do more of this. Because like storyboarding and creating comics and manga is kind of similar, like similar feeling or process. Like a lot of cartoonists also do storyboards for like TV and movies and stuff. So yeah, it's not really uncommon to have that overlap.
Damn, you're literally living out like not only mine but so many other people's like childhood dreams. So it's really cool to see you like doing all these different things that fall under that umbrella of like stuff you only dreamt of when you were like 12.
Yeah, I remember growing up and thinking or like being told it's impossible to like do this kind of stuff for work, and I feel like more and more foreigners are getting involved with like this kind of art and industry and everything too, which is really nice to see. And I'm glad there's like more opportunities than there used to be as well. So that makes me happy.
I love that. Like so many more creative minds like putting their hand in the pot.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things about being in Japan too, is like you get to meet those people more easily as well. You know?
One of my like long-term bucket list goals is to like one day make my own manga, but it feels like such a daunting and like intimidating step to take. So I'm just curious, from your own personal life, what was the thing that like sort of made you bite the bullet and just go fully into it?
I've been doing this for a long time now, so I can't remember exactly. I think it's just like if I don't do it, I feel like frustrated. So I have to do it. Like my body just forces me to make manga. You know what I
had
that.
Tell me what you got.
I don't know, do you know what I mean? Like you're just like, I just really want to do this thing so bad. So you're like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. If I don't do this, like I just feel like restless. I like really want to make something, you know?
I feel that, where it's like if it's just an idea in my head and I never do anything with it, I just stress myself out and get like frustrated.
Exactly.
I think I wait until I'm bored and then I'm like, okay, I have to do something. I have to.
Are you trying to cut out the little scar on his nose too?
Yeah, is it hard?
No, I was just like, oh, cool.
I was like, might as well.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did you want that?
Well, I guess his scar. Oh no, wait, I found it.
It's still there.
I found it.
It's so ghetto. Oh.
No.
But it's cool. You can like, I guess you can like redo it in a way, maybe.
Yeah, because it's not too sticky, so you can still like move it around.
Oh,
I
can move it with my X-Acto knife. Oh, and then I can just chip it away.
Yeah.
Wow, handy.
Nice.
I mean, no,
Nice job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm almost done.
Oh!
Oh.
What'd you do?
Cut the paper to it.
Yeah.
Happened?
Look at me. I cut
No! This is why you press lightly
Did you
with
cut
the
the
exact
paper?
See, that's exactly what I was.
Never.
It's okay. This is a canon event when you're using.
This is why, like, I was
Yeah.
like,
I was like, how do
would.
you not do this all the time?
Yeah.
That would be me, bro. We'd turn the paper over and it'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
I
And
cut
see,
a
like, how,
lot.
and I'm sure when I go back to watch my own reaction to this after you publish this live, I am literally like daidus. I am just like watching, like, I'm doing my head this way, I'm watching him do that, and I'm like, see, it's so easy just to go in and just go. Rrr.
Yeah, you are the type of artist that when you're like knee deep in drawing something, I look over and you're just
Yeah, like,
like
am.
concentrating.
I do remember because I think I've said it before, and think so when I was in art school, when my professors, Troy, God bless him, rest his soul, talking about having a heavy hand, so we would have the huge sketchbooks where we would have to do gestures and do action figures, like gesture actions and stuff for dynamic poses. So he would first want us to use like either red or blue colored pencil. I can't remember what it was called, but the colored pencil that has the eraser on it. And I drew too hard, and he demoted me down the color wheel to the point where I got yellow, and he was like, I don't want to see it. And I was like, okay. And so, like, after a while, I think it was a couple of weeks, I think I did it for like 2 or 3 weeks. I was just drawing with my yellow pencil. He's like, okay, that looks better. He was like, now I want to see what you do with the blue. And he would just stand there and watch me as I was like, and he was like, okay, that's good. And he's like, dare I give you black? And I was like, I don't think you want to give me black. So yeah, that just reminds me of it. I kind of want to find my
For the first time.
sketchbooks.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You know what's funny?
I think they're
is that,
downstairs.
my fingers or my hand always hurts because I press too hard when I.
Yeah.
How
But I
hard
ink.
were you pressing?
I ruined a lot of nibs just by pressing really hard. I don't. I think it's a psychological thing because I'm like, oh, the harder I press, the more I can get it clean.
You know, because you just have to like, you just literally just brush against it with
Wait,
the
but
exact
it kind of fits.
Right?
Like it's got a little cut on his his eye. It kind of fits his swordsman-ness, I guess.
This is copium.
Yeah, it's cool. It's avant-garde.
Copium.
So what do you do exactly, like, if it cuts the paper? Do you just tape the back?
You take the L.
Yeah, you just take the L. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can tape it. I mean, it's fine, honestly, because, like, when you go to scan it, it won't show. So even though you did cut it, it's probably fine.
All right, there he is.
Woo!
His
Wow,
little
that
hair.
looks good.
It does.
And I guess if you're going like shoujo-y or whatever, you could do highlights with like by scraping it away, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. If you want to try to add highlights, you can. If you want to do more of like a shonen style, you could always just like do a straight one across or something too. Like
Oh
simple.
yeah.
Yeah, so you can cut that out with the X-Acto knife and do that kind of
That's
highlight
tough.
too.
That's
It is
tough.
tough, yeah.
What if you can just chisel away with the eraser?
You want
right?
to try it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, you said like this hair would use this kind of thing, right?
Yeah, you can use it for the hair.
I just stabbed the
I know, I saw that.
You saw that? Alright, how do I use this damn thing?
Just apply some pressure, but not too much that it takes off the tone, and you can just like kind of erase. Yeah, you gotta go in the opposite direction that it's pasted down.
Really?
Yeah, otherwise it'll come up like that. So you gotta be careful. Funny thing, like with the knife too, like stabbing to the table. There's been so many times where I've like had these nib pens and I dropped it and it just like falls like flat into the floor, and I just be like, oh my god. These are.
ends.
Yeah, these are really sharp too, so if you stab yourself with it, it really hurts.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
The highlight line.
It almost looks like a digital airbrush
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you use it. So
That's
it's cool.
fun. That's fun. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna stop touching because I'm gonna ruin it more. I feel like.
It looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Continues to erase.
I just did this here. Alright. Give me. Oh, can I use your thingy? Do Hikimo Bobber?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Alright.
All right,
So that's it.
perfect.
Me and Emily has done
What do the
a
screen tones look like?
example that took that took forever just to do the hair. I can't imagine everything else.
Yeah, doing that for every single panel where his hair shows up. Well, these turned out nice, though.
Yeah, they look really good.
Yeah, thank you for showing us, Linea.
Of course.
Really appreciate it. Hold on, we gotta show her beautiful art.
I
on the
also
screen.
feel like I
Hold
want to
on.
like throw some rapid questions at her.
Okay.
Do you have more
sure.
questions?
Yes. Do you have like any,
Yes.
like, inking tips or like inking techniques that you use? Like,
Yeah, sure.
or like what do you? Okay, the biggest one for me is like how thick of a ink are you like? Is like I have a problem with thickness really. I know like the closer you are, the more thick you should have it, but
Yeah, so like, for example, like usually the main lines you'll use the G pen, which is a little bit thicker. So it'd be like the face outline, the main lines of the eyes, the outline of the clothes, that kind of stuff. Then I would use the Maru pen for like the little details in the eyes, the face, and stuff.
And like hair strands?
Yes, and I would use it for like the tiny hair strands here too.
so the model pen is like more like a detail pen.
Yep,
for
pretty
you
much.
at least.
Yeah, but you don't really use this much in shonen manga. It's more for shoujo manga or like this kind of style. Because it's like, yeah, just really fine details. Usually most shonen mangaka just use like the G pen.
You just want to get over with. Like,
I gotta get this done in a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, I love seeing like the differing line weight.
Yeah.
Like they look so good.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a good thing about the nib pens is you can get these kind of lines more easily because like if you press harder, kind of like if you're drawing on a tablet, I guess too, right? Like if you press harder, the lines become thicker and thinner. It becomes thinner.
Oh my
and
gosh.
like obviously with the panels you the drawing the straight line, you just use a ruler and make it very clean, huh?
Yep.
And it doesn't, and you decide how thick like the lines are too, I guess.
Yeah, I just use like the same pen. I use like, was this just like a comic pen, like a multi-liner, like a simple one. Yeah, I don't use the nib pens for that because I don't want like different line weight on the panels.
Oh.
And then like for the text bubbles here,
Yeah.
you have nothing in them.
Yeah.
Is it okay to just like write it in and like fix it later on the computer? Or
Oh yeah, how do they do the text?
Oh yeah, it's just all done digitally now, so it is, I didn't do it on my pages, like to be honest, but it's smart to do it the way you did it, Emily, where you like wrote out the text and then like you would type it on the computer later or whatever. You could also hand letter it too. That's not as common nowadays, but that can also look nice too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because whenever I went to like manga exhibits here and I saw the original pages, everything would be traditional, but the text would be like typed and cut out and like pasted in the bubbles.
Oh,
Which I thought was
interesting.
really interesting.
okay, and do you have any of these tools that you would like to show, or
No,
like
she already showed most of them,
you
right?
showed most of the good ones, right?
Yeah, the only things I didn't show were like my paintbrushes. So I use like calligraphy pens for the hair. Like,
Oh, for the hair.
Oh,
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
all this stuff
I
is-
can see that.
yeah, I use the calligraphy brush for that. And then the very thin lines I fix up with the G pen or Maru pen. And when I have to do black fills, like this whole area, I just use a paintbrush and dip the like ink.
Ah.
Yeah.
My God,
You know,
I
I'm
love,
glad I
I love
asked
her
that.
design.
This is good stuff
thank
to
you.
know. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you,
so much
Linea.
for coming.
Wow.
Where
And,
can our viewers find you, Linea?
yeah,
Where are
exactly.
you most active? On what platforms?
I have an account on most places. Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok.
And
Wait, if
if,
it's still not dead. At Keiko Cup.
Check the description. We'll have it there, and her manga.
of course, we'll
Yay.
also have Linea's manga linked in the description as well.
Thank you.
And thank you to the Patreon.
Oh yeah.
This
That's
was
fucking wild.
Some witchcraft going on
Yeah.
in here. Witch!
I would so cut the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more surprised that they only had one cut.
Yeah. Instead of the whole face.
Would have
cut
turned
out.
around and just been like, oh, let's just turn that
The
back
whole,
around.
the whole face just like get cut out, and it's like, oh no. Excuse me, stress hiccup.
Oh no, not the stress hiccups. Stop it. Just stop it right now.
Shit's wild. I didn't know a lot of this.
No, this was wild to see and just goes to show just how much time and effort goes into even a one shot. I mean, like, good lord. Well, there you have it, Otaku fam. If you are an American and you want to be a
You're
mangaka,
an
don't let your
American.
dreams just be dreams. You too can buy a shitty how to draw manga book from the local bookstore and go to Japan and just do the thing.
Let's
do it.
do it. Let's do it.
I believe in you, baby.
Thank you.
You're the artist here.
Thank you. It'll be digital.
Yeah.
It would be such a hybrid. I wouldn't mind doing it traditional and then doing everything else digitally. Cause no way.
We're gonna do everything like Oda does, where you just draw rough sketches and do everything else on the tablet.
Yeah, I like
No
that.
matter what style of manga you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Be sure to let us know what you guys thought down below. We will see you for the next video.
Bye.
Bye.